Hello and welcome to the Miraculous Lightworkers channel, your go-to place for all things about Lightworkers and enlightenment. I'm your host, Wendy. Today we are going to be reading from the Daily Meditations for Practicing the Course by Karen Casey. Description box has the links for where you can purchase a copy if you want to. Today's entry, October 27th, is about projection. The outer world mirrors our inner thoughts in every instance. We make whatever we see, plain and simple. If we're not happy, the responsibility lies with us to make something else, and we can do this in an instant by changing our thoughts. As novices to the Course, we may find it difficult to change our minds. A tiny bit of practice, on the other hand, reveals how easy it is. So what if we have to keep changing our minds? Every time we replace a negative thought with one of love or peace, we'll feel relief. We'll also feel empowered and hopeful in every situation we encounter. It's not easy to understand how thought projection works. Perhaps we don't have to. But believing in the principle and then thinking only love demonstrates how what we think reflects back to us. How we see others changes forever when we embrace this principle. Closing affirmation says, reflecting on love and God today will emphatically change my experience. So, if you're not familiar with the concept of projection, it's pretty paramount in the Course in Miracles, which constantly refers to this concept that we have what's going on in our internal world and we project that out into the world around us so that we can have the experience that we want. And then, by some strange little quirk, our ego often looks out and says, I didn't create that. That's not my world. That's not my choice. I'm the victim of this, Ego loves to do that. So what's happening here, and it's a very powerful teaching tool, is that the outer world mirrors our inner thoughts in every instance. So if we see somebody outside of us who appears to be angry, it's because the anger existed inside of us first. If we see somebody outside of us and we say, that person is hurting me emotionally, we did it to ourselves first. If we were so healed within our own spirits that we weren't causing ourselves this kind of a problem, nobody else could do that to us. Nobody else could bring us emotional pain. Nobody else could make us anger. And it works with all of the good emotions too. If we don't give ourselves joy and self-love and self-care, there's not a person in the world that's really going to be able to do that for us if we don't love ourselves, because we won't be able to receive it. A lot of people overgive in life because they are seeking the gratification of feeling loved. And so they're overcompensating for the feeling of lack and limitation and that they're not enough or unworthy of love, all these things. But what's happening is that they can't necessarily receive it completely either, because those experiences of feeling that way exist on the inside first. So they'll end up recreating it on the outside, whether they like it or not. I've done the same thing, so I can speak from my experience on this. How your inner thoughts end up creating the world that you think you see around you, and all the circumstances and all of the incidents. As novices to the Course, we may find it difficult to change our minds. That means before we've really gotten into the workbook at all, before we understand what it is that we're doing as we're projecting into the world around us, it's really a challenge to appreciate the holy instant for what it is and realize how quickly Spirit would turn things around for us if we would allow Spirit to do so. That anything that we see as a problem can be resolved in a hot second, in a holy instant. So what if we have to keep changing our minds? This is an interesting thought, because that's really what it comes down to, is just like, all you have to do is change your mind and you have a whole nother scenario in front of you. But because you've already chosen how you feel about it before you think you see it in front of you, you have situations play out before your eyes that you don't realize that you're responsible for. But you can change your mind, and the whole dynamic changes immediately. So the concept is really replacing thoughts. You become empowered once you see the effect of it, once you start making it happen and realize what it is that you're doing as a creator in your own life, and that your creative potential is massive. Once you value the power of your mind, then you'll realize how in control you really are, and that the powers within you to heal, the powers within you to change circumstances, but the belief has to come in, and it just starts small. Once you start doing it, it becomes habitual, because you feel, you get that sort of charge off of it, like, oh my gosh, I'm making it happen and I see it occurring. And this is where you start to get into the concept of really working miracles. So I'm going to give you that closing affirmation one more time. Reflecting on love and God today will emphatically change my experience. So again, I thank you for your time. Like, share, comment, subscribe, do all the things. And join us next time as we all come together to uplift, enlighten, and ascend. Bye now.